Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Azothan. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Azeroth Wars in a How Goes the War segment. And we're going to start off today looking at Red, the Scourge. We have this basic knowledge of how it works out. You know, you got your Necromancers and your Death Knight hero squad, and I've emphasized the importance of meat wagons and stuff. But today, I have a guest with me. UTL Unlimited has joined me, and he, as I hear it, absolutely demolishes everyone with Red. It is just unfair how much he knows about this map, and since I have proven my lack of knowledge at times, I would like to introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to the man who will be able to give you answers, UTL. Say hi, buddy.
Hello. How's everybody?
I'm sure they're doing great. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we don't have immediate feedback, so go ahead and tell me what you like about this race.
So, a really cool thing about Scourge is the amount of all around that you feel when you play the race. With certain races, for example, if we the biggest race that we could use example as here is North Alliance, is that each race is specialized in something. But with Scourge, that's not the case. You have a very like all-rounded air fleet. You have strong melee, strong range, and amazing versatility with magic abilities. So Scourge really is the most well-rounded race. But of course, the biggest issue with Red still there is that because of how well-rounded it is, you need a lot of mechanics. You need a lot of uh, you need you need to stop and think for a second when you play the race, because a lot of the units are very situational. It's just some things that I do that's I mean, I do a lot of I play very stale when I play Scourge in the beginning, but
Uh-huh.
there's still very big issues with Red, especially when it comes to upgrades that you need to be thoughtful of when you're playing against players, depending on whoever you're playing. So you kind of have to pick.
And by the way, I want to mention really quickly that for whatever reason, I'm suffering the thing that I do when I'm trying to record and do Skype and a game at the same time. Uh, my USB ports go absolutely crazy. So UTL is watching my screen right now. UTL, if you just see my mouse cursor stop moving or I cut off randomly, just go ahead and
Just talk,
yeah.
because you just cut off. All right, yeah. Okay, so if we want, let's talk about the actual race itself.
Okay.
Scourge, like I said, has the biggest versatility, but as we can see on the minimap, Northrend is, most, you have basically no land when you begin.
Right.
The only
You
thing
have
you really
about
have is, yeah,
three control points, one of the lowest
right.
in the games.
Which, um,
I
I
think the
understand,
Frostwolf, the Horde are the only ones with less.
because they gotta boat everything.
Yeah.
But I, the boat mechanic we can talk about later. I think it's a bit weird, but anyway. So like I said, the main point that you always have to focus on when you're playing is Scholomance, and then with Frozen Throne and Northern itself is basically just to feed you to power.
Hey, look at
And
that.
what do you think? We see everything.
I see
Actually,
dead. So now I can see everyone.
can we look at Scholomance real quick?
Absolutely, heading over there. Do you want to look at the inside or the
So
outside?
the outside, sorry.
Okay.
So the important thing about Scholomance is that the building arrangement of it. If we look at the building arrangement itself, you have a small bridge, and then you have the slaughterhouse, the temple of the dam, and the barracks. I have no idea what that's called, but
Crypt. There you go.
yeah, the crib. So you have the inside buildings and the outside buildings. When you're making units, you don't want to be spending money on building buildings at all. You want to use the buildings you already have.
Because
Now,
you
if it
should
was a
have
different
enough.
game,
I mean, you have
yeah,
two crypts, two slaughterhouses, and two temples of the damned.
exactly.
We're gonna go ahead and
Um,
select all those. Go ahead and talk.
if if this game was different, where it was like the production time was very slow, like a regular Warcraft 3, obviously building more would be better because you'd be getting so much income from creeping up Northrend. But
Hmm.
the only long production units that there are meat wagons and then the destroyers, and I'll get into destroyers later. But
I've noticed that the
so basically,
destroyers are underused. I think they perform amazingly well against, especially against OJ.
they're they are one of the most overpowered units in the game, but the creators balanced it out by making it 72 gold and 50 wood, I believe.
Yeah, and you can
And the
only have what,
production
five?
time, six, yeah, six.
Six.
And
I'll actually start
worst thing
making some
about
right
it
now. We'll
is
see.
that the worst thing is that it takes longer than anything else. Like Obsidian statues come out relatively quick. Meat wagons, they take a while, but obviously they're a great investment. But Obsidian, like destroyers, are so expensive that you have to creep out like half of Northland just to get six out, and you really don't want to afford. You can't afford that.
Yeah, you don't want to invest that much on something that is kind of a gamble.
The hope that you're doing is basically blue would help, stall out orange. Um, Now, because of that, players like Year's really good at orange actually. Like I think he's one of the best. He knows this,
Oh,
so he
yeah,
purposely
he can
plays
hit
really
that
passive.
W button faster than anyone else.
Yeah, I know, right? And then he hits like I swear he has like 16 control groups occasionally when he plays orange. I mean, I never play against it, but every time I watch one of his replays, he's very quick about it.
Yeah, he's all
But
over the place.
so some players who play orange, they know that blue's gonna stall them up. They play passive. So because of that, your primary opponents when you're red in Scholomance is purple and green. Now, if we look at green, if you look at the two bridges over at the beginning fight, I have no idea what that's called. I
Right here.
never learned any of the names. Yeah.
That's okay. I think this is
Um.
Anderhall. Yeah, Anderhall.
Okay. So at Anderhall, Um, the two bridge mechanic is really, really good and bad at the same time. If you don't pay attention, they'll actually just go only on the right bridge
Right. I see. We see
every
that a
time.
lot with Reds just getting
Yeah,
bottled up here and this cannon tower doing lots of damage to them.
right. And and it's just a pathing issue. Like even when you're escaping, they will never take the left bridge on almost every time. They will always take the right bridge.
Yeah.
I got killed so many times because of that. So when you're fighting, you have to pay attention to the bridge mechanic. It's
I've
one of
also
the
brought in a
most.
couple destroyers if at some point you want to talk about their mechanics. But go ahead and about the
There's some
bridges.
Right. So with the bridge, what you want to start with is, especially with red, is just get out a few meat wagons right away. As soon as you have around four, to start sieging out the cannon tower. You don't have to engage. All you have to do is just shoot at it until it dies.
Right.
If purple comes out, go ahead and kill him. If not, or just stall it out. Now, if we were to go into playstyles, my playstyle generally is to make a lot of crypt fiends and necromancers, and rely on the health upgrade that red has, which is completely broken,
Where's
and
the health
just
upgrade located, by the way?
it's in the graveyard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's right over here. Right, this one, right? No, there we go.
Up
Increase the
one.
health. Oh my god. I forgot about that upgrade.
The first upgrade is 100 cost, and then it's 250, 400, and 550.
Now,
I'll-
how many levels upgrades do you have for the skeletal empowerment?
I think it's a 50, 100, and 200, so three upgrades, and then the health upgrade itself is four of them. Now this makes red the best race in the game. If what was it, North Alliance? If the fight in the beginning goes really well, red's mid game and late game is almost unopposed to any other race. Nobody can deal with it
Right.
because of that one upgrade. That makes all your Crypt Fiends 950 health. It makes your, I believe, Abominations is 1550, and
It should be
just over the top.
1575. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of disgusting, and I still don't understand the reason behind it, but it's in it, so abuse it. Um,
Well,
so
I
the
think they want to give
main,
you a reward because for red, it feels to me like if you lose the fight for Scholomance, so many reds just lose hope. Like they're just like, oh my god, that was crushing, and I can't come back from it. But on the other hand, if you win this North Alliance fight and you have
you cut out, so I'll just talk real quick. I'm guessing what you're trying to say is that if you like lose out on it, basically, or you do win out it, you have to go to afford all those upgrades and
yeah,
basically steamroll over.
like it feels like red is the race where if you win your early game, you feel great, and if you lose your early game, you just feel absolutely crushed.
Yeah, I know how that feels. So my playstyle usually consists of using necromancers and crypt fiends and just using unholy frenzy to deal out the DPS. A lot of people know that I usually just forgo making units for upgrades every single time. I'm a big upgrade fan, and
Yeah.
uh, sometimes even if I'm losing, I'll just say, you know what, screw it, I'll just make more units. It's kind of just how I always played. So a lot of people, when they watch replays, some of the questions they ask me is, why do I only have 2-0 usually when I finish the the North Alliance fight? It's because I only got the health upgrades. I really do just depend on the durability of it.
Okay, and in response to the whole Crypt Fiend Necromancer idea, we see that Necromancers come out of the Temple of the Damned with just enough mana for one round of skeletons. If you haven't upgraded this Necromantic Master Training, they'll come out with around 70, 75 is enough to raise twice. If you have the Necromantic Training, we see you have enough for two, And Kel'Thuzad has this ability which adds 50 mana to nearby friendly units. Do you like to get that for Kel'Thuzad, considering your composition?
What's his W ability? I actually never get the W ability, so I have no
It's
idea if that
Frost Armor.
exists. Oh, okay. So I always get Death Coil and the Mana of the Wise Count. What Mana of the Wise Counts? I don't know what it's called. But because with Necromancers, you don't wanna have the Raised Skeleton as a right click ability or like an auto ability.
Right, you want to
Basically,
choose the
what
right
you should
situations.
right. That's why like I never get the Exhume Meat ability for the Meat Wagons because if you're way behind the enemy lines with your Necromancers, they will make the skeletons from the Meat Wagons, and that means
Oh,
that they're not doing the tanking later
really?
on. Yeah, because the Necromancers will just raise the bodies of the nearest, yeah, the nearest corpses around. So that means that you want the corpses to be at the bridge or wherever you're fighting, so if they're not there, they won't spend their mana like wastelessly. So the idea behind it is you want to choose the right situations. If you think there's enough bodies piled up, then that's your meat shield for a little bit. And obviously, if I'm already getting my health upgrades, Crypt Fiends are already tanky enough as it is. Necromancers already get tanky from it as well, so it's a nice balance. Now,
Back. Hold on. Oh god, we're not back.
very good. All right.
Let's
Well,
see.
as the
Am I good? I'm good. Okay.
yeah, there
So,
you go.
real quick, it looks like Undead might be one of the most overpowered races as far as lumber goes.
Yeah.
They
I,
automatically
I don't
collect this 20 lumber, whereas it's an upgrade required for human nations.
I don't know why I always run out of wood when I play red, so I
Wow.
always have to ask blue, like because I'm
It,
really bad at
it's
getting
probably
wood.
because, like, all you have is this right here, right off the bat, is where you first set up, and then maybe, you set up somewhere in Northrend, but the
Yeah,
trees are so spread out, and there's so few.
I just run out so fast.
Do you think that
Now,
maybe it would be viable for Red to say, like, sneak a crypt over here and just start, like, mining?
that'd be actually really cool.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I might see with that is if brown or light blue, like the playstyle of it. Like if when I play brown or light blue. Wow, I can't speak. I usually get them very quickly or very like if I play light blue, I never spend the resources to get that at as share. I can't remember the name, but at that place until I feel safe for it. I feel like I push pink and gray back. Brown, similar stuff. So it really depends on knowing your opponent. If you know that brown and light blue will creep that place really fast and then leave, then yeah, definitely you can get the wood from there. So, but that's a really cool idea. I never really thought about it that way.
Well, I mean, it's so hectic in the beginning, and plus, sometimes, like, I can imagine that if you were to land some ghouls here, and light blue and brown had to clear you out, or even the horde had to clear you out, that's just drawing attention to you. Like, they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so red feels confident enough to do that, maybe I should attack Northrend.
Yep, that's it. All right. To move on. The hero that you want to hit 10 fast enough, the fastest is always Kel'Thuzad. Um, a lot of people prefer him in Lich form. I just prefer him as Necromancer. His Death and Decay is I don't know why that's still in the game.
Yeah.
Because there's so many choke points in the game that you can just abuse it. And the game is so big with 300 populations. When the game starts to get laggy, what will happen is the opponent can't move anything out of it, so you're just gonna Death and Decay everything. It
Yeah,
happens
that's,
so
by
many
the way,
times.
why I think that upgrades over number of units is always preferable.
Yeah. That's why like I every time I hit like I got so many complaints about that I just always say like whenever Kel'Thuzad hits 9, I just tell everybody, hey, he's 9. Just a heads up, you guys. If he hits 10, heads up.
Yeah,
Kel'Thuzad,
if he hits 10, you're fucked.
yeah. And the thing is like it has a pretty relatively short cooldown as well. So
Yeah, it does.
I
And I
don't.
mean, look,
Yeah.
10% hit points. If you're in there for even a second, you're down to
Yeah.
90% health. 10 seconds in there, and you're dead.
It's so much, and it's 25 seconds too, and the range is so good. Oh
Yeah.
man.
But again,
All right,
we
but
rarely see a Kel'Thuzad played, at least by new players. We very rarely see a Kel'Thuzad get up to level 10.
oh, so let's actually address for the newer players, I actually want to address this. Stop making abominations. Seriously, stop it. Stop it. Um, Abominations used to be a very good unit back, pre-patches, but nowadays they really only do melee damage, and that's about it. So the idea is that you want to just survive with ghouls, crypt fiends, and necromancers, and banshees. Banshees are very situational, but the curse it's 33%, right? The curse.
Uh,
Yeah, that thing's broken.
yeah.
Go use it. Abominations, we've seen tricks in both your videos and in other people's plays that they would get the plague spread out with the abominations, and that's always a cute trick. But it's not gonna, I mean, it's gonna do a lot of damage. But when it comes to the main fight, you want to actually do damage while while being able to survive at the same time.
Right.
So, if we were to talk about the early game, the focus, if we were to like summarize everything, the focuses would be you want to creep out Northern with Anu Barak and get Saffron. Just creep out as fast as possible while spending all your money on mostly units and upgrades.
Oh,
The upgrades being health.
I didn't even realize the Nubarak starts down in Ajol Narub. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so
That
new.
place, I think that place gets you about 500 gold. Obviously, creep range gold is a little bit different, but I think it gets you about that much. And it really does pay off in the end. Now,
Yeah.
if you want to get for the blue dragon, stop getting web, everybody. Seriously. When the price went up to 150, it no longer became a viable thing to get. When you're in the North Alliance fight, you can hold units down, but it's still like you shouldn't even need that because you already have the race skeleton for positioning it at least.
Right.
So stop it. That's 150 gold down the drain for a late game. It's a really good late game mechanic. Don't get me wrong, but in the early games, you really want to spend all the gold because when North Alliance gets the Paladins up, get the Magus up, and get the Hydromancers, Geomancers, and everything up, you're going to be hard pressed even with Blue's help.
Yeah, it's
North
sort
Alliance
of.
just. Hello. All right. I don't know if you cut off.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No,
It just goes
North
back.
Alliance
So I was gonna
works
say.
in a way it's like North Alliance works where the later it goes, the better it is for them.
Right.
Um,
It's all about, like you said, North Alliance hates that critical point where they have the paladins, they have the purple has like the clerics for healing, the magus, and then the hydromancers, and then at that point they can pretty safely engage any army.
right. Well, North Alliance is here. Like North Alliance is, they're not overpowered. I love how they work. I'm very bad at North Alliance. Like I'm terrible at them.
That's
But
okay. I am too.
I just love how they actually function as a group.
I really wish you
Um,
could have seen the fight that I went through when I was North Alliance and you were the Horde. I want to say Teal. Like we had a hell of a fight, and then right after we were done, you just came streaming up with that bullshit Ragnaros trick.
Yeah, that thing needs to be addressed. Actually, I've been trying out a different thing, but we'll talk about that when we talk about Teal. We don't want to go too off topic. But yeah, Ragnaros is a bit of a broken mechanic right now, but hopefully that will be fixed. And Thirst said he will fix it. I don't know if
Excellent.
I'm pronouncing his name. Now, in terms of the actual early game fight, like I said, you want to push out early, you want to do a lot of damage. And the point now, I always like to talk about timers. The timer that you're looking for when you're playing red is the plague of timer
The
because
9 minute. Yeah.
is it not 10 income? Okay, 10 income cycles. Okay, so the idea is that you're distracting them with the main fight, that you're able to basically kill everything else with the plague. Now, with the plague, what you shouldn't be aiming for is miscellaneous building. What you should be aiming for is Stratholme and the Capital Palace.
Right, so if he's left the gates open, you want to go ahead and attack the Capital Palace with all of these units. And you will even see that some acolytes are put out here, so you can drop a crypt or something behind enemy lines if you're still battling in Stratholme, God forbid.
Right.
I mean, not
And
Stratholme,
just target this, and just target down the houses. They give you I believe they give you 3 citizens, 2 citizens. I mean, I don't know if it's randomized or not, but
Oh, really?
every
Let's
time
see.
you kill a house, every time you no, not those houses, like the in the
Oh,
Capital
these.
Palace. Yeah, I don't know if the inn drops one, but you see those little houses? Yeah, those drop 2 or 3 extra zombies, and basically what you're doing there is boosting the amount of units you have, and especially if you went down the health upgrade route, your zombies will have 850 health by the time you get all the health upgrades. So they'll just stand there and just kill stuff with the plague.
Yeah, I've noticed zombies are much buffer than I would have thought.
Yeah.
And let's see
A lot of
what
people
the
kind
cost
of
is
use them
comparative
if they
to an
can.
abomination. So an abomination's 24 and a zombie is 14.
14. You can
And they
get
have a
two more.
smaller unit size, so you can fit more on the front line.
Right. Um,
And they also
unit
spread
size
the.
is something that really does need to be touched on, honestly.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, Abominations can, I believe you can use two to block off a bridge, right? I want to say two and a half,
Let's
but
see. Go ahead. You can keep talking while I fill these units in.
basically the way that spells work is AO. For example, let's talk about the Paladin's AOE. It's like a 55, it's like a percent chance pulverize, and the more fatter units you have, the better it is. Now, that's why I like to use Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends are relatively okay size. I mean, I don't think you can actually block stuff off in this game. I mean, you can, I guess, but the idea is that you want to remember the size of units when you're playing the game.
Right.
When you notice that Paladins or Purple has all six Paladins up, you still want to make the Crypt Fiends, you still want to make the Necromancers, but your main focus now is to make the biggest meat wall you possibly can, so that the AOE isn't, all over the place. If you have only multiple zombies and ghouls, they're all gonna take damage in that AOE. If you have a few abominations in that AOE, that's the only time then that is actually viable to get abominations,
Right.
because they'll just tank it.
Uh huh.
Only two or three will get hit by it. It's just a little thought. Um, Now, let's say, we killed the Capital Palace, we killed Stratholme, we got Arthas, and we just keep moving on. Now, the situation becomes, now it's like more strange, because we don't know what's going to happen around this point. Let's say dark green, yellow one, let's say teal one, let's say, blah, blah, blah. So, now the fight comes down to this. Do you go up, or do you go down, right? Do you want to go to Dalaran, or do you want to go to Quothalons? Um, Usually, what happens is you still have a few zombies left, and you just want to itch, I guess. You just want to bother Dalaran while you're pushing Quothalos.
Right.
Um, and the only reason why you would do that is for A, if you lost Kel'Thuzad, or B, you feel like you really can't break Dalaran and you need the Burning Legion. Or you're just really greedy like I am, and you just want the control points. That's what I usually do.
Yeah.
I get really fucking greedy in these games. Like, it's a horrible thing to do. Oh
Well,
yeah.
no, I feel like
Uh,
your approach is actually much better because far too often people just sit back and they're like, well, I can build up now. And what they don't realize is if there is an imbalanced fight going on, let's say that Teal is going to attack or the South Alliance is going to attack the North Alliance. If Kalimdor just waits, it's going to reach a point where Dark Green's heroes are too strong, or Dark Green's going to get too much of an advantage over the North Alliance, and then, at that point, yeah, Kalimdor can't do anything.
yeah.
I see a lot of people
Hero
like, oh no, Dark Green already won, so I'm just going to leave. I want to hit him.
Heroes are so, I don't know. But I come from StarCraft, so it's like hero mechanics was so. It took me so long to get used to.
Oh, right.
Like the idea of babysitting them. I
And not
played
only
StarCraft.
that, but the idea that if you're ahead, you can
Yeah.
actually fall behind if you let the opponent's heroes get too high.
Yeah. I played StarCraft since I was 5. I learned English with StarCraft, and my entire
Damn.
life it was dedicated to StarCraft. And it was like when Warcraft came around with the hero mechanics, I was like, how do I use this thing? Like, I always got them killed. A lot of people complain to me about like how I only hero aim. It's because I saw so many heroes just later on steamroll everything that I just realized I kind of just have to kill them.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Moving on. Zombies, blah blah blah.
We're going to
Upgrades.
take Capital Palace here, and we'll show off what happens when we get Arthas after we take Stratholme.
Alright. What else? Now, red does not need blue. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. A good red does not need a blue to be a competent North Alliance. If it's a good alliance, obviously, that's a little bit different. Every player is good. Never use the word pro. Every player is a really good player, and then obviously having a good teammate matters. But
Of course.
Red has all the mechanics. Red has all the choices that he needs or he or she needs to win the game.
Well, red has like
Um, oh, you cut out. Hi, how's everybody doing?
I
Here,
think
let
I
me
think I'm
shout
back.
cats.
Okay, I think I'm
All
back.
right, we're good.
Like I was gonna say, you said that red has one of the easily beefiest melee units right here, the Abomination. It's very good. Also, the zombies are extremely competitive later on because of the health upgrades. But we also see that they have no shortage of siege weapons. They have extremely powerful air units in the Frost Worms, which can freeze stuff. And they also have the Crypt Fiends, which are easily one of the most competitive ranged units in the game.
Hmm.
So red doesn't really have any
Oh,
weak
and
points.
obsidian statues are just broken.
Oh, also, all of Red's upgrades apply to all of his units.
Yeah.
Like, he just has two. Pink and gray are like, well, I gotta upgrade my attack range and my attack
no.
melee.
Oh my god. I never understood the decision for that. I really honestly don't. Because when you look at a game like StarCraft, when you look at an actual Warcraft 3, just like a regular ladder map,
Uh huh.
you have to choose.
Well, we are
There
seeing,
was a
to be fair,
choice.
in Heart of the Swarm, we are seeing that Terran ship armor and Terran ground armor for their mechanical units are being merged. It's just one.
That's so yeah. Oh. Okay, no, Blizzard makes horrible decisions with
But
StarCraft
but
2 right
but
now
the
because that's
attacks are still
intensity.
different. The attack upgrades are still different.
It's just a defense. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't. You cut off, but I'm guessing it's all right. So I'm just gonna talk. I just want to ramble about the upgrades because those are okay. So you should never ever give a player the ability to only get one upgrade for the entire race because you're taking away a choice from the players, right?
Right.
And that it just makes it so that you can spam units, right? I mean, obviously people are gonna be aiming for composition, but what you're just gonna be doing is spamming units because it doesn't matter because all you're just gonna every single upgrade is gonna be the same for each unit. And when we look at, for example, like me and Azothan talked about Dark Ages of Warcraft. One thing that they really did well that I really enjoy is you have to choose. If we look at their races like Grey, which is the Horde, for Dark Ages of Warcraft, you have to choose where you can get the defense for the Torrents and then the ranged attack for the like the Berserker or the Troll Berserkers and their range units, and it was a choice because you can make a composition where it wasn't just like, oh, one upgrade is gonna benefit everybody. It was, I have to logically think this through. I have a really beefy unit, so let's just make that beefy and let's make my range unit, which is gonna sit at the back, really strong. But with a race like red where every unit just benefits from it, that's
Well,
just wrong. And
have you
I
played
kind
any
of get
Broken
why.
Alliances?
Yeah, I know they don't they do the same thing.
They
The one
do.
upgrade.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
but they get ridiculously expensive to the point where you almost exclusively want to upgrade the armor of your melee and exclusively upgrade the damage of your ranged.
Yeah, but like, what do you call it? Azeroth Wars doesn't do that. Like the only bad thing about upgrades in Azeroth Wars is the really high production, really high research time for it. The prices are usually
Yeah.
pretty affordable, relatively affordable. I mean, if you're in the late game and you don't have like 20, 30 CPs, then I don't know why you're still in the game. But I have a very like defeatist attitude occasionally.
I was about to
Um,
say, that's really negative Nancy of you there,
I
buddy.
know. Um, So the up I can't pronounce his fucking name. The guy with um, the queen thing on diploimmunion.com. He always says he says like the horde should have one research. I would disagree with that and say every race should have two, or every race should have a separate melee and separate ranged one. To be honest, just make it so that each race has a vibrator. Oh, hold on.
We're
Hey, I'm
getting an idea of
recording.
UTL's
I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later.
mindset.
Hold on, I'll talk to you later. Fuck. Fuck girls.
Was that your
Anyway.
girlfriend?
Yeah. Fuck
Oh,
girls. Fuck girls. Video games over girls. It's okay. She's used to it. Um, so yeah.
video
That's
games over
that
vagina.
yeah, video games over bitches every day. So that's my little rant on upgrades. God, I always hated res upgrades.
No, I think it's a great point, but I was gonna say, oh, it's so unfair for races like the South Alliance, but if you think about it, almost everything in Dark Green's arsenal
Yeah.
upgrade benefits from the melee attack and then the melee armor.
They need to fix that too. Spearmen should not be getting melee upgrades at all.
Well,
Spearmen
I
already
could
have enough
theoretically see
versatility.
Spearman getting the melee. Well, no, but I think it's a carryover from when they were Axemen and Spearmen
Axemen,
in
yeah,
one. Yeah.
let's change it. Yeah, Spearmen already have poison that you can make it better with, so I rather avoid that.
Yeah, it's a bit
Anyway,
excessive.
now we've seen the Capital Palace go down. We've seen Stratholme go down. Now you get people say, or the introduction for the game always says that Arthas is the strongest hero. No, Kel'Thuzardus. Now, but Arthas, what he does bring to the table is a godly aura. The unholy aura
Right.
is disgustingly sick.
It
And then
it puts
his
you on par with Dark Green's movement aura.
movement,
Except you
yeah,
also
and
get
it makes
health
it better.
regen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't. That thing is so strong, and that's the thing that you're aiming with Arthas, because every person will always aim at Arthas because they get scared of the Lich King, blah blah blah. So what Arthas should be doing is sitting in the back lines with Unholy Aura like max upgraded, so that your units just benefit like constantly through it. Uh, and we see taking Tyr's hand, etc. etc. That's going good. Now, what's a really important point? In the early game, if you do manage to pick off Sylvanas, please use her. I actually had a bad habit. I always like ignored her.
Doesn't she have a really
Initially.
good silence ability?
It's like a 45-second silence ability.
Yeah, it's insane.
I didn't know that when I first played. Like, I would always just kill off Sylvanas. I actually didn't know you could even get a ghost out of her. And then one day, I can't remember who mentioned it. It was during in-game, and they said, hey, Sylvanas has like a 45-second upgrade. I think Talon actually said it when we were talking about, not arguing, but discussing silence.
Whoa.
But, yeah.
What is this?
Sylvanas has,
Baron Rivendare is really scary.
yeah.
With this ability here, this 100 bonus attack damage, and it's not even like a activated ability, it's just a passive.
Passive, yeah.
Oh my god.
A lot of people underestimate Baron. Actually, what I like to do is get Q and then get a bit more stats on him first, because he's relatively squishy in the early game, and then get the E for him, because he needs to survive to do actually the damage. So.
And he also has what I think might arguably be one of the coolest ultimates. I mean, not maybe the most effective, but really cool.
When you get that thing to level 3, that thing's broken.
Is it?
It's like I know a lot of people are saying, oh my god, UTL is using the word broken a lot, but that's because I'm talking. But in real retrospect, Baron Rivendare is one of those like unsung heroes of the game. There he is. There's Arthas.
There he is. I'm gonna bring him down here.
Apparently he does splash damage. Like I realized.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Yeah. I was like, this is a little bit weird. But anyway, when we look at Arthas, he has decent stats, but like I said, the most important thing about him is the aura. Just keep him alive in the back, and you'll be fine. Now, around this point, you should have boots and a ring of protection for each of your heroes. Those things are the lifesavers of all your heroes, no matter. So it's like I believe 85%. I can't do math. 160 gold. 160 gold for the. That's a small investment to keep your heroes alive. Because the longer you can keep your heroes alive, the more experience they get and the stronger they get. And I have no idea what's happening. I think it hasn't been cut off. I can. Oh, there you go. Oh. Arthas, you're dying. 죽으면 안 돼요. 뛰어가야 됩니다. 뛰어갑니다. 살아갑니다. 죽었습니다. 이렇게 살아가. 12사. Oh my god, 죽었습니다. 플래그. Alright, there you go. That's how you talk in Korean, motherfucker. So other than him dying, which you should probably avoid. Now, as we see on the mini map.
Okay, where are we going?
The scourge is really spread out by this point.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're just heading up north. You're heading down south.
So would you say let your units, maybe the stray stuff, these zombies and stuff, clear out Quel'Thalas while you start to move down and either poke at whoever has won the southern fight?
Right. Uh, if Kel'Thuzar died, just send everything up there, just so you can get your Lich back as fast as possible. If not, send out the zombies over there, grab whatever you can, and clear out Dalaran, yeah, so that Blue can get his little,
His
fun
bookie.
heroes, I guess. Yeah.
I'm
People
noticing
get
that
such a
Archimon is not. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's not being played well in the games I'm seeing, but
He's a horrible hero.
yeah, he's not that great.
He's slow. Like you have to babysit him, etc.,
And
etc.
is it just me, or are Manaroth and Magtheridon feeling pretty useless in this game at this point?
Manaroth is okay. McDurden is a case where if you can get him fed, you'll be fine. But that's a case for every hero. The
Yeah.
weird thing about McDurden is that if you compare McDurden and Manaroth's sizes, I believe that Manaroth is a little bit bigger than McDurden. So McDurden is a little bit more mobile in that sense, and
As
when he
he should
runs,
be
he can really book
lore-wise.
it. Yeah. McDurden can really book it, and he has the McDarden has I didn't notice this until today. McDarden is spell immune to some abilities.
Really?
Like he has that armor thing. Um, and I didn't notice that until today, but that makes McDarden special compared to Manaroth. Like he's pretty good, like in that respect. Manaroth may have it or not, but
They
the
just feel
biggest
so
thing about those
slow.
is just
Like, I don't know what it is.
size.
They just get aimed so very, very easily.
Yeah. That's why, like, when I play Teal, I never let him out of Outland until he has boots and ring. But
Yeah,
that's a
and
playstyle, like I said.
like UTL is saying, guys, always boots and ring. Always boots and ring.
Yeah, just get it. I know it's expensive in the early game, but you just need to kind of get it later on, especially for important heroes like Kel'Thuzad, like Archimon. Oh, Archimon with Mask of Death is broken, or not broken, but it's really good, etc., etc.
Because he
Now,
does some splash damage, too. And it's all chaos.
yeah,
So, yeah. It's batshit crazy.
Archimon needs to be babysat so much. Oh my god.
It's stressful, man. You're like, oh my god, I have the key to me winning. And then you spend the whole game worrying about losing him.
Like I can honestly say my worst race is Burning Legion without a doubt because
Oh,
I will
no.
always heroes. I will always lose it, just absolutely.
But those Dreadlords are just so much fun.
I know there's so much fun. um, now let's look toward the south more.
Okay.
If we look at the gate towards Stromgard,
Okay.
Stromgard. Let's say you broke or you're attacking Dalaran. Around the point when you're starting to finish out North Lounge, or you're noticing that the fight is going too long, like just open up the faction tab, see how many control points each of them have, and put a shade there. That shade will save you your life. Because by the time that the fight finishes for you or for the South Alliance or for Teal,
Yeah.
the wood near the Griffin Aviary thing, or Airy Peak, there we go. The wood near that is already broken, so they have a free trip towards your land unless you use the wood summoning thing.
Right.
So
And we'll demonstrate that while you're talking.
if you're not aware of the minimap, and this just comes down all to mechanics. If you're not aware of the minimap, if you don't recognize that they're coming down, you're just gonna die. I've had so many games where I just died because I stopped looking at the minimap when I put a shade there. So the main idea with that shade trick, or not really a trick, it's just a little scout thing, is that you want to stay alive from the south fight that will come up, because I've never seen a south that actually go like Kalimdor for some fucking reason. So
Yeah.
they just walk up.
I was thinking about that the other day. The fact that if a lot more South Alliances just pushed Kalimdor immediately, it would solve a lot of the late game problems we're seeing.
Yeah. And we do see that. It's just that the Kalimdor fight, it's an investment to even come over.
Right? You
That's
have to
the
get ships or a Scroll of Town portal, and you have to build a base.
Let's say if the Horde won, right? If the Horde won, then we can just say, we already have three building armored.
Oh
Check out the
my
silence.
god! Okay, so guys, we're gonna see that UTL is right. It is a 40-second silence. Oh my god, is that broken? Not
I did
broken,
not
that's
know.
just good.
That Talon told me, and I was like, oh my god. And she still has the spell immune thing, doesn't she? Yeah,
Let's
so
go check back on her. She's over here somewhere. I lost her in
just
the
put her,
woods.
just put her in like a control group with a hero. Like I just do that now out of habit. Like she has that little armor thing spell, like right above the black
Yes.
arrow.
Is
Oh,
rendered
resistance.
immune to certain spells. She also has life drain, and she can turn units into undead skeletons. And we'll see what strength skeleton she can turn them into over here in a second.
No, because of that, like Sylvanas just keep her alive when she's dead.
Damn,
Crap.
women.
Hold on, no, this is. 여보세요? 예, 안녕하세요. 어디요? 아, 미시시피요? 멀리도 가셨네요.
Oh my god, look at the thing. That's awesome.
예? 아빠. 네, 근데요. 아, 전화번호요? 예, 말해주세요.
Okay, guys, so while he's doing that, I'm just going to
602?
quietly talk about this game. So, we're seeing that Sylvanas is actually a really good unit. Massive,
하나?
massive silence. It's only 75, so she could cast it 3 times before she's going to be Ohm. And then, of course, you can
네.
always just go ahead and if you have a high-level
206?
Kel'Thuzad, bam, you just get her health right back. That'll help you out
Sure.
against orange. It will help you out against purple. So if you can get the Sylvanas unit, it will turn the tide of the North Alliance fight for you. It is completely
지금
up
공부하고
to you.
있으니까 공부 좀
It will
다
just
끝내고 제가 밤에
change
연락드리겠습니다.
the entire game. And we're going to pretend like that's not all going on in the background. Anyway, oh my god, we need 25 more lumber. Come on. Okay, so,
See, you just kind of run out. All right, that was my bad. That my parents are currently road tripping.
that's no problem at all.
Around the United States, so they're in Mississippi right now for some weird reason. I didn't know there was stuff to see.
Mississippi River in the USA, so let's... Do we learn, like, little kid songs about Mississippi? Go on.
Now, we're clearing up everything. Now, let's focus on the south fight now. By the
Okay.
time you get there, you cleared out everything. I mean, obviously, we're talking optimally. Use
Right.
the shade, and if there's ever a unit near the cannon tower, just check on the upgrades, see how the south fight's going, and then just push down.
Let's talk about
Around
at this
this
point. At this point, wouldn't we be choosing mastery as well?
I'm really bad at that. When I play teal, I actually never got a mastery until I learned about the warlock mastery. I just never knew they existed.
Okay, well, let's take a look at them really quick, and you can give me your opinion on them. So,
I mean, now I get the plague, just because I like
plague?
meat wagons, but
let's
I
see.
actually never read all.
It increases the damage, the disease cloud. Okay, so I'll read these.
All of the scourge, making them attack 10% faster. It also gives them a Howl of
All
Terror.
right.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, gargoyles will be able to use
So-
Howl of Terror, and then Research Disease greatly increases the amount of damage that Disease Clouds deals to enemy units. Remember, guys, it does 2.5 normally, and then but decreases the duration. Okay, so that makes it a little more balanced, and you can train 2 more additional meat wagons, and then the third one is Research Dark Mastery, improves the magical potency of your undead casters. Curse will make an enemy have a 45% chance to miss. Oh my god. Anti-Magic Shell will block more damage, and Unholy Frenzy will increase attack speed by 85%.
Why did I get Plague Mastery before again?
I don't
actually
know,
never-
like, I'm reading that, and that sounds
Alright.
fucking amazing.
Yeah. How much is Unholy Frenzy right now? 55? If it's
Let's
up
go
to
ahead and take a
85,
look.
that's messed up.
Yeah, I built a Necromancer. I'm sure there's one over here.
There
It's
is.
75%, so it's a 10%
Oh.
increase.
Still, 85 sounds bad. Or, not bad, but like really good. I usually get Plague Mastery because I love meat wagons. I actually didn't know that it actually decreases the duration, but like, I kind of just chase my opponents all the way to hell. Like, I never stop at it, so
Right.
that's more of my active approach to it.
So you're basically front-loading all the damage from Plague.
Right. And because of that, obviously those tricks with, like you spread the plague with one abomination becomes less effective, but it still does the same, it still does more damage. So I guess we'll have to do calculations later on. Now,
But like you said, that
we're-
45% miss chance is crazy.
yeah, that really is from 35. All right, so if we were, let's say we caught Stromguard, can you float down to that big bridge?
Oh,
Not
okay,
that one,
the big bridge.
the big one. Yeah. Um, Around this time, Kel'Thuzad, if he was still alive, he'd be level 8 or 9.
Uh-huh.
Then you should, now if you're a nice player, you should tell others, hey, Kel'Thuzad is 8 or 9, heads up. By the time he hits 10, um, and let's say dark green and yellow or teal, right, are like basically, resisting you,
Uh-huh.
you, no matter what, just pull back a little bit and fight at the bridge. And just use D&D, and that will literally just turn your entire battle. Even if they sit for a few seconds, right? That's damage that they can't stop. And that's damage that you're doing for free, right? Just for a cost of a little bit of mana.
Uh-huh.
And your units are gonna stay alive with the unholy aura. A cute trick that I always like to do is be right when I'm using D&D with Anu Barak, just spike the stun, the
Oh,
linear
that's
stun.
evil.
Just do that. And while they're in the air, they'll still take D&D damage, I believe. And they'll still be stunned for a few seconds, so they can't get out. They'll be sitting there.
Yeah.
So it's
Something
a
I've always
great
bothered
way to
me is the
just.
fact that this cannon tower can be hit by siege units out here.
I know.
Like, this just doesn't feel like a safe place at all to be
They just kind of have to
defending.
move it down a few centimeters.
Yeah.
Because that should be defending the gate, honestly, but they just have to. That's just placement issues. Now, we move on. We keep fighting. Around this time, when you're that far in, I I think I have 5-2 upgrades. If everything goes relatively well, I usually have 5-2, and I kind of run into the lumber problem, and then
Uh-huh.
I beg Blue for lumber, and then he becomes my lumber bitch. As I think it was Dachuri. I love his name. It sounds like a Dekunat
Right, or
from
some kind of
Legend
like
of
really
Zelda.
fanciful state bird or something.
Yeah, I just find his name to be adorable. So
By the way, my keyboard and mouse have gone. If my mic goes in a second, just keep talking.
all right. Anyway, Dachuri, I love you because your name is extremely adorable. But as he would like to call himself, he was my lumber bitch, and that's what I usually do when I play red. I kind of just ask Blue for wood because I'm really bad at it. So if the fight continues to go on, you have these high upgrades. You have the perfect unit composition. You have a few ghouls with their upgrades so that they do extra damage. You have the obsidian statues with mana and health regening. You have fiends. You have necromancers. You have banshees and frostworms to slow enemies down, etc., etc.
Also,
This is the composition where you can't die. Yep. Hello. I
I'm
think
here.
that's
I'm here.
all right.
It just takes like I'll hear it say it's about to work, and then it takes it like another 2 seconds to work. So
All right.
I want to broach the idea. I'm an old school player. I don't know how long you've been playing, but I've been playing for about God, I don't know, 5, 6 years maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And base aiming to me means, oh my god, the night elves just landed a bunch of fucking moonkin on my base, and
Don't remind me of that. I was such a bad player with that. I was so abusive with that. But
oh
anyway,
no, it
keep on.
was friggin' awesome. I aimed the throne so many times. Like for me, that's
Yeah,
base aiming. You know, Iron Forge gets dropped, or you just focus down that main building to the exclusion of all else, or you would take a control point, teleport in, and
yeah.
then do that. But I'm seeing more recently, and it's driving me batshit crazy, is players saying, "Oh my god, you base aimer," and all I did was kill his barracks. Like I would swing a force behind his attack, kill the
Mhm.
barracks so he could stop. He couldn't produce units anymore, and suddenly that's base aiming. Like,
Base aiming,
what are your
to me,
opinions on
base
that?
aiming is always the most important buildings.
Yeah,
Like,
Stromguard or
yeah,
something similar.
Stromguard, like the big ones, like the Frozen Throne, like Stormwind. With Teal, I don't think you really have a really important building unless you want Thoris. If you want Thoris permanently dead later on, keeping the Black Temple alive is important, but
Yeah.
losing them really doesn't do much for you. But
Well, I mean, teal
to
for base
me,
aiming that you want to take. Yeah, you want to take Stormwind, but there's nothing you can lose as teal. I mean, what you
no, no,
might
no.
lose the
When you
ability
want
to
to kill
make.
Dark Green, people always go for Stormwind if they're gonna base him. Stop it. Go kill Chapel. That thing, I don't. I will. The one thing I will always say is the most imbalanced thing. I don't mind Thoris's stuns. I don't mind this. I don't mind the champions. I will always, always to my. I swear, even if I have to go to hell for it, I'll always bitch about the chapel, the
The
Cathedral of
Cathedral of
Light.
Light. Yeah.
That thing's regeneration is just disgusting. It has an amazing AOE. Like I don't,
It
I
covers like
always
everything from here in.
yeah.
Like it's just a giant circle.
I complain about that. I complain about that thing daily. That's why, like, when we talk online or like you ask me questions about dark green, blah blah blah, I always say teal has two timers, Bolvar, and then the cathedral coming up.
Yep.
The cathedral comes up. Just type GG. To me, that's it. Like, I can't do much more. I mean, probably there's more innovative ways, but I'm very like, it takes me a while to like think of new
Yeah.
strategies. That's why like, people did the whole warlock thing. I'm like, wow, this thing's really fucking good. So.
I'm
Anyway,
noticing that between warlocks, and I would love to see more blade masters out of teal. Like if we saw, and especially with the Ragnos trick, you could get a lot of blade masters super quickly.
yeah.
But that will kill a hero really quickly. Like it's just completely done. And it doesn't matter if we have Cathedral of Light. We see the warlocks can kill champions in like 2 seconds with their spammable life steal.
Yeah, the lifesteal needs to be addressed. But anyway, that's a point for later on.
Okay.
That's just us bitching about pacing.
Yeah, we're just
Uh,
but yeah, okay, so
don't
basically
I don't
guys
mind
go ahead and
basing.
kill those production buildings.
Just go. That's a strategy. If you
Yeah.
can prevent someone from getting extra units, but killing the more important structures is a little bit different because those can't move. You can only fix them to a certain degree. And yeah, it's great if you can protect it, but it still feels a little bit douchey, doesn't it? I don't mind hero aiming because that's the idea of you can control it.
Right.
You can't really control a building. If
No,
buildings
no.
can move, I go for it. You can base aim all you want. If buildings can move, like the Dark Ages of Warcraft, that's like next Rammus that can fly around. Go for it. Go
Hey,
kill that.
hey guys,
Why
you
not?
hearing that? Go ahead and base aim all.
Just go like base aim everything. If you're Archimon, just go fucking kill the tree. Like fuck everything.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm seeing a really high level of like if let's say somebody's winning, automatically recently I've been seeing a lot of night elves just go ahead and say, "Hey, Blue, you want the tree? I'll give it to you."
Yeah. uh, I love how that thing works. By the way, I absolutely adore it.
It is a pretty neat mechanic. The trigger that makes what does he get like 8 more levels?
Yeah. No, actually, I love the fact that you cannot control Archimon when that happens. That's a fair way. That's showing that you need to risk things to get an
Right.
amazing reward, and I love how that works.
You don't just
Now,
walk up and get it.
Yeah, you don't just walk up and get it. You have to build defenses because you never know what's gonna come. Like Blade Masters, just wind walk and just target it. There you go. Now we see here, by the time that Red reaches this area, you can basically say you won the game, because Red has so much. Red has so much versatility and so much utility with it, with the race itself that's when you win.
Do we want
Now,
to talk
it's
about
around.
all these Death Knights?
I need to learn how to use them. I really, really do. They're on the same like level as paladins, except for the AOE damage. But they have an amazing black arrow. But
Yeah,
I
there we
do
go.
see a lot of players who actually use them early, like how you would make dark greens champions, how you would make purples paladins. They would make them early instead of the unit composition that I like to
Okay,
do.
hold on, but look at this really quick. Okay, so you're talking about Arthas' really powerful aura, right?
Mm-hmm.
Level 3, it increases movement speed by 12% and his life regeneration by 12%. But
Mm-hmm.
the Death Knight's automatic aura, look at that.
10 and 50. Wow. I need to
50%
read
life
things
regeneration
more.
rate.
Yeah, I need to read these things more. See, I'm learning things as I go.
Right,
Like people
and-
always say like I'm good, but I'm really not. Like I don't really read stuff. I don't really pay attention. Like the only thing that makes me win is mechanics because everybody else is really bad at it. And like that's the one thing that I can honestly say that I'm very good at. The
So
only
guys,
thing that,
I want you all to hear what UTL is saying right now. He's not winning because he's good. He's winning because you suck.
I'm winning because everybody else is slow. That's one honesty that I can say.
Oh, that is definitely your calling card. Like the sheer speed with which you move. You are definitely a StarCraft player. You're like, I took the advantage. I killed his expansion. I'm gonna move in. And I'm gonna sink my teeth in right now. I'm not sitting back.
That's one thing. Like a lot of people say, like I don't know why people god worship me, and they need to stop that because you're better, yours better, the darkness within is better, Volrath is better.
I'm better with one
Augustine's
race against your. I feel like
no,
my dark green would lose to your red very quickly.
no. You're an amazing player. And then who else is really good?
That's
Augustine
nice
Bear's
to hear you
all
say now, but I remember when people were posting in the threads, they're like, "Hey, I've got Azothan on my team. Is he any good?" And you went, hey, "He's got questionable mouse control, but
no,
he's okay."
your mouse control. No, like when you were doing replays, your mouse control was really weird. I've never seen anything like that before. It was really weird.
Yeah,
But
it is.
you think you're really good at thinking. Like you notice all these things in mechanics that I don't because, like I said, the only thing I'm really good at is mechanics. That's it. And that's why I play teal really well because teal really just depends on mechanics. Attacking 4 different areas at once. That's
Yeah.
what I'm good at.
Oh, you were great at the multitasking. When we played our game, people were honestly like, "Oh wow, you won," and I was like, "Yeah," but I was super stressed out the whole time. Like you were clearly trying to flank me at all times. You were baiting
Yeah.
me, and I was just like, "Oh my god, he's mind fuck."
Like, oh, you cut out, but yeah, that's the one thing that I can honestly hold like claim to,
Yeah,
like in this game. So yeah, people, please stop worshiping me. Please worship the people who deserve it, like Volrath, like Augustin, like Sasquatch. Like they're really good players. And Steak when he's not raging. He
yeah.
needs to stop that. I
That
love him
was
to death.
still one of my favorite replays. Is that moment when he kicks the guy, and I was just like, "Steak."
You gotta stop that, man. You're a really good player, but you gotta stop raging. I mean, I used to rage a shit ton when I played StarCraft, but when I started learning, I came.
You know who Steak is? He
Actually,
is no, what's the StarCraft player? Idra. He's Idra.
oh yeah,
Steak is
he's
our
a good.
Idra.
Steak's really good. He just has to stop raging all the time. Like I love him to death, but like he just trash talks like a boss. But you know, you gotta just ignore the haters and just play better than everybody else. That's all you have to do. Now, oh, if we look up Northern, so around this time we can suggest that
What, you mean the
Cal-
Northern? Oh,
Calendar won or Horde won, right? Like one of them won. Um, can you scroll over to the rocks near Northern or near Frozen Drone, please?
there we
Yeah.
go.
People now I'm lazy. Other people are lazy. We're all lazy. What others will do is they will break through those rocks and attack you. What you want to do is get an acolyte. No, don't break it. Don't break it. Don't break it. Don't break it.
Ah!
Grab an acolyte. Only build ziggurats around it. Don't upgrade it. Just build ziggurats. Just think that you're playing tower defense and those are your barricades. Afterwards, because Kel'Thuzad should be higher than level 10 by that time, and if you're not, that's really weird. You would, like I said, use the spines on a new Barak, stun everything, and a D&D there. That's
Yep.
all you have to do. That's your defense. Now, when people aren't lazy, and like I've always been vocal, I'm very lazy in the late game. That's why in the late game I will always lose unless I'm like so far ahead that I can't lose. Um, you would break through wherever that the forgotten one is, and then you would go through all 3 sides, and that is the best way to kill Frozen Throne. And people should really try and aim for that instead of just crushing the rocks and coming up. That gives me time
Yeah,
to
because like you said, we have a Jol Narub. The entrance to your base is what, like right here?
right.
Let's experiment. See where this guy goes. So, come on,
Oh,
leave. There we go.
okay.
Yeah. So
You
you
want to go
enter
through
here.
all 3.
You enter there, and then that'll spit you out right here. You head to the right. You break down this wall. Possibly the Forgotten One's probably already cleared out by red. So you go through there. We also have this entrance that he's talking about. Go ahead and stream up through there. By this time, red will have cleared it out of trees, so you'll have a nice open thing. And then also attack right here through these rocks. Don't... And that's... Thank you, UTL, for saying that, because I am so tired of seeing people just try to slam a giant fucking army through a tiny hole. Like, I want to look at them and say, did you play with blocks as a kid? Were you the one trying to shove the square into the circle?
Yeah.
Because it's just, you have no pattern recognition.
Yeah. No, I get like I said, when people get lazy because and this is just a map problem. Coming over from Kalimdor is such a pain. You
Yeah.
know, you have to ship it. Things like that. But that's just how the map works, unfortunately. So, if you want to, I guess, win, if you want to get better, you kind of have to be less lazy. So don't take my example. take people whose late game management's really good. Yeah. Actually, do you know anybody who's really good at late game management? I can't think of anybody yet.
Um, let's see.
You're yours really good. He's
You're
very
really good.
diligent.
It
He's very
seems like
diligent.
Steak is pretty good.
Yeah, when he doesn't rage. When
Yeah,
he
like I mean, when
actually,
he
the
lands
one
on
thing
my
I'll say
shores
about
and it's
him,
Steak, I freak out.
the one thing I'll always say about him is that once he starts like not raging, once he starts getting a little bit more level-headed, he'll probably be one of the better, like one of the best. Not, he's one of the better because there's been an influx of players coming in,
Yeah.
and he's been around for a while. He knows the game very well, but he just needs to stop raging.
Did you know that
That's the
his
only.
his YouTube channel is listed as the best Azeroth Wars player in the world?
I actually didn't know that.
It's so. I saw him add me and I went, "What the, dude? You are
It's
ballsy."
good. It's good to have confidence, but
Right?
like,
Oh my god.
hey,
I love
no,
I love
funny-
Steak. He has been super
Yeah.
supportive of this channel.
$20 say as soon as he like the video is uploaded on the bottom, it's gonna be like, dude, one-on-one match right now.
Yeah.
Right now. And Klopp too. And Klopp. Oh my god, he's such a good kid.
Yeah, we did
But-
see that Enclop and Steak on Spirit, my last replay, they were together and
Yeah, I've already
yeah,
seen that.
Steak
I haven't
dropped.
seen the part 2 yet, but I've seen part 1. And then
Yeah.
when Steak got disconnected, immediate reaction from Klopp is, what the hell? Come on, dude.
I mean, to be fair though, Enclop does stay in for quite a while. He tries to take Northrend.
I know.
Like it's he's pretty
so
stick to it.
diligent.
Yeah.
I'm just like, screw it, fuck it. But
Yeah,
everybody else
exactly.
is like,
You and I have that
dude,
same
we gotta
reaction.
stay
Like
hours.
I was playing games for a while as Dark Green, and I'm not joking you. 5 games in a row, my yellow either quit because he lost his heroes to teal, or he
Yeah.
accidentally dropped out. And in all of those games, I managed to defeat teal solo, which is proof that what you're saying, like Dark Green is just way too strong. He needs a nerf. But after those 5 games, if my teammate dropped out at all, I just flipped my chair, walked out of the room, and shut off the game. I shut the game off from the other room with my anger. Like, that's how pissed off I was at having my ally leave.
People need to just kind of control their rage, and a lot of people will just get better
I
immediately.
wonder if there's a way that if your ally drops, it would be hard if you had multiple allies, but let's say your control points got split up between your allies, like automatically. I know there are games that do that.
Yeah, I actually enjoy using my allies.
Oh, okay.
So I have no input on that one. Because like I said, mechanics are my best part, so having 2 races for me is sometimes better. I mean, obviously my
You're just like,
mindsets of
now I
more
can just be
split.
more awesome.
No, like whenever I'm playing dark green or yellow, I just kind of like it when the other guy drops, because now I can kind of coordinate Magni and like the heroes and the champions more.
That's true.
Because if people play with me, I never talk in games, and sorry, that's just my bad. I just don't enjoy typing, or online at least. So
Hey, you don't have to like it. It's fine.
I'll
I just
only
thought you didn't
type.
like me. First time you were like just really silent, and I was like, oh my god, I pissed
No,
you off.
I do that to everyone. Yeah, I just do that. So yeah, I think that covers most
Everything
of
for
things.
red, basically.
The only thing I'll say is don't go Lich King.
Why would you say don't go Lich King?
He's a walking hazard.
Oh, so he's like Archimon, basically, where he has to be babysat.
Yeah. Obviously, it's like the risk reward thing. If you get him to the late game, and he's spell immune, right? But
Yeah.
let's say you're fighting against the teal. Oh wait, who did I? I was red, and then I lost Lich King. And then I had to go Sylvanas. Apparently, people later on said he's a hacker, but I think he's a legitimately good player. I can't remember his name, but it was a really long game, and I got so tired of it. But I like when a race like Ray, when a race like green, with the wind like the far starters, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Whoever has windwalk and then can close up on you and kill you is it's very hard to deal with as an Archimon, as a Lich King, because
Well,
you
as a
can't
Lich
kill
King,
them
I would
very-
be really frightened to fight Grey's ogres.
Can you stun lock?
Yes.
Magic-
There is
yeah,
there is nothing in this game that is immune to stun.
Yeah.
Which
Even
is why
ships
we
got
have the
stunned. I
Ragnaros
laughed.
problem.
Even ships get stunned. I laughed.
That's
Actually,
kinda
hold
messed
on.
up.
Since I feel like we kind of covered Olive Red, let's talk about the Ragnaros then, since I feel like that's a big problem in the
Okay,
community
we'll
right
go ahead
now.
and talk about it. In
So,
fact, we'll go ahead and try to kill it while we're talking about it.
wait, what level is it?
It's level 1 right now, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah, you
Or
can
maybe,
stay in the
yeah,
way.
level 1.
If you want to fix the Ragnaros problem, we can go down the stake route, which is
And let's
five
talk
ten
about,
minutes.
let's describe it for people who don't
Okay.
know what it is.
So, recently there have been replays coming up where the player would get the Warlock Mastery, not just up to cripple, but where you can get life drain.
Right.
Okay, that's 150 gold, 200 wood, and it's an amazing investment. And then you would cripple, fireball, life drain, and just tank with grunts, and that is how you would get ultimate shield, which grants you 10 stats for everything, and
Uh-huh.
800 gold.
And what hero would you put the ultimate shield on?
I just give it to Ren so he doesn't die. That's about it. Until I
Okay.
can give it to MacDarden, but I only give it to MacDarden when I feel like he can actually live. So now Stake suggested that we just make it invulnerable 5 to 10 minutes.
I like that.
And at first I agreed with it, and then I thought that takes away a risk reward element for Teal. The biggest problem right now with Ragnaros is that he starts at level 1. Later on, he becomes very hard to kill. Like, let's
Oh,
say he
yeah.
hits 5, let's say he hits 10, right? Make it that way. Like, make him start at a certain level, you know? Then there's still a risk toward getting him. You know, now because I killed Ragnaros with 8 grunts and 12 warlocks. That shouldn't be possible.
No, that is just, I mean,
Yeah. And that
that
was a
that's
minimum.
taking away like
I
what?
just
Maybe 150 gold away from your front line for all those? No, no, like maybe 200. But you're
but
getting 800 in return.
yeah. And you can clear Ragnaros relatively fast. You're not risking too much. And because basically the Warlock Mastery pays off later on as well when you're trying to kill like Dark Range champions, when you're trying to kill elite heroes. So basically the thing that you just want to I want to say don't make Ragnaros invulnerable, make him start at a higher level so that it's actual risk that you have to actually contribute more time. Because the 5 minute invulnerability thing, I think it's like, yeah, I agree that the thing is broken, but you shouldn't take away a choice from the players.
Right.
You should just make it so that you have to invest more. Because at first I was like, this might be fine, right? Because that was before I actually tried it out.
That
And
was a really funny post. Like you posted in the subject on that and you went, "Well, it seems to me like it's a risk reward." And then not maybe like a day later you posted and were like,
it
"This
was
shit
literally
is
an hour later.
broken."
Yeah, it was an hour later because after I typed that, I said, all right, I'll try it out. Because a player named Zenon, I think, used that on me, and I
Uh-huh.
was Dark Green. And like we basically were at a stalemate until like North Alliance came down, or Augustine came down and killed me. But
Big shout out
basically,
to Bernthold Augustine. Augustine
actually,
Bernthold.
he I can't tell if he's trolling or if he's just having fun sometimes. But I
Oh.
love the guy. He's a really good.
Yeah.
But yeah. The Ragnaros problem is that it starts at level 1. It's so easy to kill at level 1. And the way I would say you should fix that is make him invulnerable. Or not invulnerable, but make him start at a higher level so that you don't take away the risk reward element of it. You just make it harder and you actually have to invest something. Don't make him magic immune, please. Like that's kind of bad. Like we
Don't
already
make
have some good.
Ragnaros, you mean?
Yeah, magic immune. Because like there's two ways we can do it. Leave him at level 1 and make him magic immune, right? Because that means that you can't cripple, you can't life drain, you can't fireball. And he has a pretty relatively fast attack speed at level 1 to begin with. And the other way is, my suggestion, which is make him start at a higher level, so it's more of a risk. Because you see, like he does that fire breath thing, right? It does no damage.
No, especially not against units that have reduced damage against spells
Yeah.
and hero
So
armor.
it's like that would be the way that I would suggest like we address the problem with Ragnaros, not just say, make him invulnerable 5 to 10 minutes. Let's just remove him altogether. Let's just make him harder to kill, or make him magic immune, like a lot of people are saying. The current editor of the map, they're saying he wants to make the entire thing interesting to begin with, but I mean to that I want to say it kind of just depends on how you make it. He even suggests, and And the one thing that I didn't like about that post was he said he wants to remove the Warlock Mastery because it didn't feel he didn't just like it. He just didn't like the feel of it.
Yeah.
And we've just recently seen that mastery really be in use. Before then, it was just something else. I can't remember what I was getting, but
Well, it's sort of like I feel like people underestimate the fact that this map can evolve, much like
yeah,
StarCraft does. For example, Hydras almost never used in the original StarCraft 2 games. We would see those almost never utilized. Same thing with several other units. But as time goes on, you start to find that niche that it fills. You know, you start to find out what it actually can be used for.
and we're seeing that with every race. Like Rexar hasn't had a change in the longest time, right? Because we've been at 1.848 for the longest time, but
Yep.
yet now we're seeing the complaints about Rexar. Why? What happened? It's not because the players suddenly realized something. I mean, they did, but like, it's because the game started to evolve, right? My response, like, the reason why Rexar suddenly became more popular is because priestesses just fell out of favor all of a sudden. Priestess used to just use their lunar bolt and like just kill all the heroes, right?
Uh-huh.
So you never could reach the critical point with Rexar before. But now, because for some reason priestess fell out of favor, it's not like that anymore. Rexar became this like unstoppable beast that you can reach at mid game. Not and late game, he's a hero that should be strong like every other hero, but it was the mid game problem where he could snowball that hard into the late game where everybody else was relatively weak while Rexar was relatively strong.
Yeah, and I hear people comparing the Rexar issue to the Dark Green issue late game, and the Dark Green issue is slightly different in that you need the entire hero group to kill off an
Yeah,
army. Whereas with Rexar, you just need Rexar.
yeah. Or no, you need Rexar and one Warlock. You want
Yeah.
to unholy frenzy it.
Oh my god, that is just it's so
If you're
beastly.
wondering why I killed everything, then it was because I did that.
Yeah, one Warlock and Rokon, and you're
Yeah.
good.
People want to try and stun lock him, I'll just go Avatar and that'll be really fun.
And his avatar seems like it lasts a really long time.
I know, right? That was really weird.
I think that might be
Yo,
one way to address it is reduce the time that avatar lasts on the first couple levels.
yeah. The one thing I will say that I really do enjoy about the balance of Avatar is that it makes you bigger. That means you get surrounded more. That's one thing that I'll say. Like that was a really good way to like fix it. I guess he doesn't just get kind of big; he gets really big. Like he fills up half the screen kind of big.
Yeah, he's
So
he's pretty massive.
yeah, and in terms of unit size, like that's a really good way to try and fix it. But giving magic immune to a guy who has cleave is a bit fucked up.
Yeah,
And his
that's
cleave, I don't even get the healing wave anymore. I just get stats on him after the tankiness and the cleave.
yeah. I, I,
So I'm
I
just
feel
like,
like that healing wave is sort of out of character with the
place
rest of
now.
his abilities.
It used to be pretty good in the older metagame because it was like a good way to survive
Yeah,
with all heroes, but and then like people would kind of when priestesses fell out of favor because priestesses would interrupt the Rexar ability, right?
mm-hmm.
But no longer is it like that anymore.
I'm telling you what. Next time I'm night elves and you go horde, I'm just getting nothing but priestesses.
Yeah, just stun him. Like just unlock everything. Like easy peasy, dude.
I'm gonna
And if
aim
you
the
can
fucking champion or those like whatever they are, the orc champions.
champion, yeah. No. Stun lock Rokan. There you.
Yeah, Stunlock,
Just,
Rokon, and what's Zuljin is the other one?
yeah,
Yeah,
just kill those two.
Vol'jin. Vol'jin.
Hold it, yeah. And then you'll be fine.
Basically, fuck all the trolls.
Fuck all trolls.
Troll the
Fucking.
trolls.
All right. So any other balance issues I think do we have to address? Because I think we covered
I think
red.
we've covered red pretty well. We'll address other balance issues like Cthulhu in Kalimdor. We'll discuss some
Yeah.
things like early game creeping here, and even these units around here when we discuss Teal. And we might combine the the South Alliance into one episode. Like we'll discuss Yellow and Dark Green because I feel like you and I have enough knowledge about those to be able to talk about them in one
Yeah.
episode. But for now, do you feel like you got everything you wanted to say?
I mean, in terms of the gameplay, yeah.
If there's
But I'll
something you want to
just.
discuss, feel free. We're already here.
Hmm. Dark Green needs to have a few changes, but he's not like OP or anything. I know a lot of people say that, but he's not. Or
Yeah.
Dark Green isn't. Um, Teal, a lot of people need to just change their playstyles. And if you're not confident in multitasking, just don't play teal. Like, I would honestly say that, especially as players are getting better. And one thing I would say is I'm very happy that there's a lot more players going on. I mean, we'll go into more intricate balance issues when we cover each race later on with other episodes. But the one thing I'll always say is like there's a lot more new players. Both are, some good, some bad, some really trash talky, some really nice. But everybody's trying to play to improve. A lot of the community is going better, so hopefully it's going in the right direction. Hopefully it's not just a resurgence and it's an actual permanent kind of thing.
Nah, what are you talking about? People love this game.
Man, I left this game like for a few months too. I don't know what I. Oh right, I started playing StarCraft again. Oh
Yeah,
man, that was.
that'll do it. Have you ever submitted to Fun Day Monday?
No, I play StarCraft one. I used to play Brood War. I used to play two, but when I hit Masters in like 2 weeks to a month, I kind of realized that this game wasn't for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but do you watch Day 9 or anything like that? Because, I mean, even
I
if you
used to
don't
watch.
play it,
I used to watch Day Nine religiously and Husky as well, and then
Husky
but these
kind
days
of gets annoying after a while, doesn't he?
I love him though. He
I
does
hope
get
he never hears this because honestly, I think he's like one of the most excitable and full of
yeah.
energy people I've ever seen in my life. But sometimes when I hear, "What's up, guys? It's H to the Husky," I'm just like, "Shut up!" just
He's close. He's the guy closest to to those people who are like to the Korean casters like OGN style.
oh, is he? Okay.
The only guy I would the only because in terms of like excitement because the English language doesn't really allow for the way that Korean language does it.
Uh huh.
Like if we look at the internet memes, it goes like playgroup and things like that. It's just the way our language works. But English doesn't really allow for that sometimes. The only guys I would say that's come close is oh man, I can't remember. There was a Brood War commentator a while back. Nuke the Star was pretty good, stuff like that. But those are all old names, so I left them to that. Um, we'll talk about balance issues later on, but I just want to do a few shout outs. Diploam.com, please visit there for replays, metagames. If you want to just discuss the game, thanks to Azothan because he helped build the community even more.
Oh,
Like
guys, I
I
didn't
did.
help build the community. I showed up like a month ago. Ignore that.
No, I did. I tried to do my part in the sense that I help like organize replays and information at one place, but obviously that only goes out to people who are actually already playing the game.
Yeah,
You
oh, I
kind
should mention
of,
that, guys. UTL has the metagame thread on diplomunion.com where he posts all of his replays. So you guys are hearing about him getting hero worshipped. I do agree that it's a little excessive, but go check him out sometime because he is a great player, and you can just take a look at all the stuff he puts out there.
I really do get tired of that shit though. By the way,
But yeah, I admit I did it with you too. Like you were one of the first replays I cast, and I went, "This guy's fucking awesome." I take it back. You suck.
one thing I'll say though is that if you guys do play with me, stick.
What the fuck?
It's
I
so
want to see Baron.
Oh, you cut out. Actually, what might be pretty funny is Baron with 5 claws and 1 boots. That would
Yeah.
be pretty.
No, or you
with
mean
cleave.
5 claws and 1 glove, right?
Oh, glove, yeah.
Oh my god.
Give him cleave. I heard that shit's balanced. Anyway. What else? Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you guys do play with me, please do stick around till the end game. I usually like to just stick around. That's the only time I'll actually talk to people. You can ask me any questions. You can say suggestions about how I can improve my playstyle, or if you want to ask questions about how to play a certain race. I know I don't sound as literate when I talk, but when I do type, it gives me a chance to think a little bit more. So
Oh,
if
dude,
you do want
you
to talk,
sounded great this whole time. Honestly, you're gonna be surprised at how good you come off in this replay.
I go off rants. This is the slowest I'm trying to talk. I talk really fast.
It's fine. Go
I do
for it.
big, so.
You've got high APM even with you've got high WPM.
Words per minute.
Yep.
Dude, that's because I'm part of a law firm and I gotta talk fast. Fuck. I work with my dad's. Alright, oh, and shout out to Yer. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I still love the kid. I do still want to see him. It's just the European times don't work out with me, and Yer, I miss you. Please come play with me again. Oh, I love you so much. Uh, shout out to Angel Slayer. People probably won't get that reference, but you know, people who do get that reference had fun with that one. So that's it. Oh, please do tune into Azothan more. Like his videos. Be subscribed to him. Because I don't do videos and I watch his daily. So.
Aw, man, that
Oh,
makes me
and
feel so good.
Steak. Stop bitching. I love you.
Steak, we all love you here. We just want to help you, okay? We're all here because we love you.
We're here for anger management issues. Oh, and sorry for talking quick occasionally.
That's okay. It's no problem at all. All right, so hold on. I do just stick around until I can get Baron Rivendare up to level 10.
You need to get up to 15. That's when that shit goes crazy.
Okay.
I just want to see what it looks like. I've never seen it in game ever.
Oh really?
Yeah. No.
It's a slightly bigger model of an abomination, but it's more red.
No, well, I want to summon it once because I guarantee you I'm never going to get to do it in an actual game. So I'm going to do it here. And for those of you who haven't seen how overpowered it is.
Is anybody level 10 right now? If you do, was it Tomb with only Baron, he should hit 10. Oh, everybody's 8.
Yeah, everybody's 8. Oh, man.
While we're on, let's talk, wait, here, since we're doing this, let's just talk, what other issues have been coming up in terms of balance?
God, I'm trying to imagine what could it be. Go ahead.
Stop trash talking, everybody. Seriously.
Yeah, guys, and I hate to say this. This is coming from the part of me that's been forced to make friends with people who are on Tumblr. But stop saying "gay" when you think something is bad. Like,
I just before we did this cast or this little video thing, I was playing a video game and I was teal, and apparently I hero targeted someone, and I didn't even know that because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And then he immediately starts typing, "You're such a good player, man. Yo, hero target right away." I'm like, dude, I didn't even, like, he was gray, he was Grom blood pack thing. I didn't even know I killed him because I was in Kalimdor and he was like taking my control points over at like North Alliance, and he's like, "Dude, you hero targeting me." I'm like, "I did? Oh shit." Immediately like went on to like trash on like everybody else, and I'm like, okay.
Alright guys, I'm going to use a bad word here, but someone posted on the forums and they were talking to UTL and they were talking about how most arguments go online and it's a picture and there's all these buttons and it's like, it's all these buttons and one of them's like logic and reason and facts and information, and then there's just this big red button in the middle that says, "Call him a faggot."
Faggot. I think that was Ordo, I don't remember, but that's because Dark, like, if people come onto the forums, like, if you guys ever come onto the forums and you're new, and if there's a guy called Dark Lycan, ignore him because he kind of just rages at everything. That's probably the one guy that I can say he needs to seriously stop complaining, because, you know, the map is good. The map is growing very greatly. Like, if the map was truly imbalanced, people will find a way to balance it. It's always been that way for every game. StarCraft 1 Brood War, it wasn't balanced. Like, you think lurkers are balanced, you think like devourers are balanced, they're not. No. It was the players and the maps that the players made to balance it. So when we talk about, when we address things like imbalances, what we really do mean is, you know, a way to abuse something. It's not, because every game will always be imbalanced. Like, that's the end. That's something that you'll never correct, because players will always find a way to abuse something.
Right.
So,
and
when we address things like balance, we always say, you know, ways to, you know, fix an abuse. That's the only way we can really balance. Unless, you know, we have like a
talk about balance, people are like, "Oh my god, it's just this race is so much stronger in this one area." I would like to point you guys to what is it? Warcraft 2. If any of you ever played Warcraft 2, that's a good idea of what balance gets you. It's like, oh, all these units are exact mirrors of each other, and oh my god, I'm losing such frame rate. Hold on, I'm gonna stop recording for a second, and we're gonna come back in just a moment. Dude, I think my computer wanted to crap itself. Oh my god, am I gonna crash? Nope. I'm getting 1 frame per second. What is going on?
Guys. Dude,
okay, I think. Dude, it's freaking out. Okay, we're gonna end this, and we're gonna see you guys next time. But Thank you so much, UTL, for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this too. Hopefully, we can do more later on.
Oh, that's what I should
And
mention, guys. We're gonna try to do an episode for each race.
yeah, that'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's gonna
Actually,
be a
I
lot of
wouldn't
fun.
mind bringing like someone else on for like some of the other races because obviously we're not, both of us can't do
No,
all races,
I'll be
perfectly.
able. You
So
know, you do a good job at Scourge. I'll be able to do a good job at dark green, maybe yellow.
yeah,
By the way, yellow is so fun lately. Like, I want to cry
I'm so
with how much
bad at
fun
them.
yellow is.
I'm so bad with them.
But we'll
Cause
bring
my
in people like Stake and Yerg for
yeah,
Kalimdor races.
that'll be pretty funny. Now, actually, I wouldn't mind bringing you on for orange. I swear that kid, dude, 19 control groups. 20
Yeah.
fingers. I actually no. The way I met him was a long, long time ago. Actually, no, maybe a year ago. He messaged me on the game after we won or after we played, and he goes, "Do you think there's ways to fix like improve my game style?" I'm like, "Wow, this kid's really dedicated." And now he's like way better than me. Like back then, he was a good player, but he was like complete trash in terms of mechanics. I'll be honest. But like now, he just can do anything he wants. Like
I
it's beautiful how
I think the
well he
game is
grew.
breaking because I have too much money.
Wow, you have 18K. I didn't notice
We're just sort of fucking off while I'm sitting here
Oh
with
my
like
god.
all the money in the world. Okay,
Oh, did
so
you know there's 116, I think. No, 106 or 116 control points. I
yeah,
hit
I
that one.
remember a
I was like,
long
wow.
time ago someone actually took the time to get them all before he declared himself the winner of the map.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like,
That's
I'm getting all of them.
dedication. I just did that because I was talking with other people back then. Right. So yeah. Um, I hope everybody enjoyed this. Actually, what I do want to do later on is cast an actual thing with Azothan, but I don't think that's possible because of his Skype thing and his internet. But if we do, I'll try and do the most Koreanish like cast I can possibly do, screaming off the top of my lungs. I promise I'll do that. Are you breaking? Man, looking at all these heroes remind me of like League of Legends casts.
Okay, I'm by. Okay,
Are you
for
good?
those of you who are watching, go back and watch me spell "hold on" with my cursor.
I didn't notice.
You can
Oh
watch
my
it in
god,
the
you're so
cast.
ninja. I didn't notice that shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that from now on when this goes out. But yeah, I would love to cast something with you. Hopefully, April is when I'm getting my own place, and I'm gonna have the best internet in the world. So you guys are gonna see like videos coming out like gangbusters, just all day long, nothing but videos. And I'll be doing extra stuff with UTL, and we'll try to cast some stuff together.
Dude, uh, and just heads up from me actually.
Yep.
I will be going to the military this summer as part of my Korean citizenship.
Oh, they
Uh,
have mandatory service, right?
right. And I'm still a Korean citizen. I do have a green card, but I do want to maintain my Korean citizenship, so I will be going to the military this summer. So, which is why, if you haven't noticed, I've been playing a lot more than I used to. So hopefully we can, I'll try and contribute as much as I can before I go, and I'll try and get on whenever I get vacations. So,
Yeah, and
right,
are we gonna? I mean, I'm just like want to check in with you now. Or how long are you gonna be serving?
22 months. It's the mandatory one. So like, but when you have a green card, you're allowed to go to the U.S. after a year,
Uh huh.
and then like come back to the states, or come back to the states and like go back to Korea because you have a green card. So, I
Right.
mean, that's pretty cool. I guess I'll play for a week while I'm here
Yeah.
again. So.
Well, we'll have like special episodes where it's like, "Welcome back. He's been learning actual war, so let's see him kick our asses in Azeroth Wars."
Dude, Korean military is so shit.
Is
Like
it?
American military, you learn about tactics and shit, right? You know what we learn? Basic training, and then we guard the rails. Where I live in
Oh,
Korea is if you go to the fucking map, is I live on the DMZ. I can see the DMZ from my house. That's where I live. I see North
but
Korea from my house.
I
Okay.
feel like in America, we make fun of our own military because like, and we're like, "Oh my god, the Russian military." Do you know anything about the Russian military?
I heard they're like really strict. That's all I really
Yeah,
know.
like there's videos out there of like the instructors just drop kicking a student randomly for no reason just to like keep him on his toes and make him tough, and we're like, oh my fucking god. So
In Korea, here's how Korea is. In Korea, a guard dog is of higher rank than you are. Okay, a guard dog.
Oh.
Fucking. So when a guard dog walk past you, you have to like salute the dog. Okay, that's how that's how Korean military.
I hope you play TL at some point and one of these felt hounds like spawns for you and it'd be like, hey, UTL, bow to the dog. Bow to the dog.
That'll be my control group, and like the game I'll play is like if I lose that Hellhound, I gotta fucking GG right away and leave.
The commander's dead. Oh, guys, we can see it. Ready?
There we go.
Hold on. We're gonna do this and then we're gonna leave the game. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. Oh yes. What is this? He has frenzy. Okay. Oh, he's pretty beefy, but like you said, it's
What's
level.
his bash percent? I actually don't know what it is.
Oh, let's check it out. 15% chance. And
Oh, please
level 2
fix
he has
Misha's
Bash Frenzy
bash-
and War Stomp, and then Bash Frenzy, Cleave, and
Cleave.
Plague Explosion?
I've never heard that one, but
God.
yeah. By the way, quick, people. By the way, Rexar. If Rexar is broken, Misha's broken more. Please fix her 35% bash.
Oh yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Give her Unholy Frenzy and like sick her on like a hero. It is the funniest thing you'll ever watch in your life, because the heroes will try and kite the bear, and the bear will just follow with Holy Frenzy. So please make that 15% like across the board, like everything else.
We're gonna have to address this in Dark Green's discussion, but I'm pretty sure that mercenaries have like a 25% bash.
Oh yeah, that's how you stunlock Ragnaros, right? It's like 15 or 20.
No, I'm not even talking about Axemen. I'm talking about if you go the mercenary armies route for Stormwind, it changes all your champions into mercenary captains.
Yeah.
And they have a like 35 to 40% bash chance.
I actually go professional because I realized that mercenary lords have heavy armor, so I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
I did not know that. Holy crap.
No,
Maybe I should try Merc.
I highly advise anyone playing Dark Green to never go mercenary armies. Ever.
I mean, because like, the heavy armor takes everything away. That's why.
Yeah, no, you need that hero armor, and it takes away cleave, too.
Yeah, that's why.
And that's just... No. Okay,
that's
so, before we keep getting drawn up on more, discussions and randomness, we're going to go ahead and wish everyone very well. This has been Azothan and UTL Unlimited talking to you about the balance of red in this week's How Goes the War. So I look very much forward to all of you joining us next time. And something we should notice about ghouls that I've always thought was great that nobody really talks about.
Yeah, that thing's so broken.
Applies infected wounds every time a ghoul hits a unit, and it increases the damage they take by 50%. So if you just like went an army of nothing but ghouls, zombies, and necromancers, that seems like it would be a lot of fucking fun.
Here's what you do: you cripple any hero, and you just have a control group of ghouls, and you surround it.
You're such an ass.
Fastest drops I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, but even at 8-8, they only do 21 to 41.
Yeah, but like the 50% stuff. And then if you give them Unholy Frenzy, they have cripple.
Yeah,
the only guy who actually survives that is Thoras, because he just kind of like stands there and just like shrugs it off.
We see Ghoul Frenzy here increases the attack rate of ghouls by 25% and increases their movement speed, so you can get surrounds and stuff really well.
It's really funny.
All right,
so
guys. That has been it, and UTL is going to wish you goodbye. This has been Azothan. UTL, go ahead and say your sign off and say whatever last words you want.
Hey guys, I'm UTL. I already made the shoutouts. Go to deploymutunion.com, and I hope to see you guys in the game. Please stay with me till the late game if you want to discuss or talk about anything. And please check out Azothan's channel. And yeah, I'll try and talk less Korean later on.
All right,
Bye,
sounds
guys.
good. Bye, everybody.